Our delicious day trip continues. We're here in Solon, Iowa at Big Grove Brewery. This is an incredible place, and I'm joined by Doug Getch. And we're here at this really, beautiful room. I gotta say, before we even get into how delicious the beer is here, this is just a great structure.
Thanks, Dave.
I can't imagine that this was easy to put together.
No, we have a little family luck involved in this whole process, and that is that my partners are a mother and son team, Faye and Matt Swift. And Faye's brother is a nationally renowned architect based out of Chicago, and he's designed all of the restaurants in our family.
If you're watching this show and you don't give a hoot about beer, but you love architecture, come to Big Grove Brewery. Okay, for the one guy that made sense to, the rest of you come here for the beer because the beer is delicious. And part of that is, Doug, because you put together this Murderer's Row, this 1927 Yankees profile of talent here in a town that, and I hope I don't get in any trouble for saying this here in Solon, this is not the biggest metropolis in the state of Iowa.
No, it's a small community that's growing. It's
Right.
vibrant right now. It's growing at a good pace. You know, we did our homework when we were looking for a location for the brewery. And Solon is a very young town. The average age is 35. It's got a high per capita income, and that translated out to what we found now to a very a young core group of families that come in here. They have disposable income. We see a bunch of families that come in here and support us, and Solon's been fantastic.
So this is a family place.
Yeah.
That's important to you guys,
Yeah.
that people are able to bring their families here.
Yeah, yep. You'll see, mini high chairs scattered around the dining room in the early evenings, and then as it gets later, we see some of our more regulars that are more involved in the beer, especially. But our
Right.
food is a big draw, our beer is a big draw, and our atmosphere is a big draw.
Talk to me about the kind of beers that you have here. What's on tap right now?
What's on tap right now is Bill, my brewer. He really specializes in kind of the West Coast style IPA.
Okay.
And then sour beers, which are kind of on the come right now. It's not a style that is really widely known, but you'll see it with the beer drinking crowd.
We're hearing more and more everywhere we go about sours, and they're
Yes.
not for everyone. They're an acquired taste.
No, and my partner and my brewer, much to their chagrin, I am not a big aficionado of them.
Right.
I like the.
They're not for everybody.
No,
though,
they're
Doug.
not. But
and
the
they're not.
people
But they're not
that-
supposed to be.
No, and the people that love them love them. And
Right.
we do our Berliner Weiss style beer, which is a case raw. It's a sour wheat beer.
Okay.
Is one of our most popular beers that we sell here and off premise too.
Beers you make here, and I haven't had one yet, but it's early on in the show. The beer that I've heard the most about, that people rave about, both online and here in Solon, my buddy Kevin won't shut up about it. Doug's Stout.
Yeah, that was kind of a play on me, actually, because my favorite beer when we opened this, I wasn't a big beer aficionado. I liked Guinness, and that
I will say this though, Doug, you're a big everything. I don't know how you can say you're not a big beer aficionado.
It's easy to find.
I don't know if this is coming through on television. Doug is 11 feet tall. I'm actually sitting on 7 milk crates right now just to have this conversation. So you say you weren't a big beer aficionado when you started this place?
No, but Bill made a stout. He tweaked it a couple of times, and I always tell people I'm not. I always said I didn't want to be my own best customer, so I don't spend a lot of time drinking when I'm at work.
Right. This one's called Arms Race that we're drinking. Tell me about this beer.
This is a all Citra Pale Ale, and it was Bill, my brewer, came up with the name of this, and it's a great beer, and it's probably one of our more popular ones too. But the IPA, the Case Raw, and the Arms Race are the ones that really have a lot of traction out in the market and here. But there were all these all Citra Pale Ales coming up, and Bill just kind of tongue-in-cheek said it's an arms race to see who can do this style.
Genius.
And the name stuck, and we really like it.
I'm willing to drive. For this one particularly, I'm willing to drive.
And that's what I'd like you to do, is just keep driving out
Okay,
here, because
okay.
that will lead us to kind of expansion. We're in the very beginning phases of kind of looking about expanding into a production brewery. We're really small. We're on pace to do about 900 barrels this year.
Listen, it's small, but it's absolutely just amazing stuff that you're making here. And, I know that you take this as a compliment. I can't believe that this is in Solon. This is so cool, and I hope people in Solon don't take that as a slam, but this is such an amazing place.
Yeah, and the city of Solon, I was living in California when this all started, so Matt and Faye did a lot of the kind of groundwork to find out where we wanted to be.
You don't want to take credit for it being in Solon.
I can't take
Right,
credit because Matt and Faye and the city of Solon was very adamant about pursuing this.
Right.
And you know, they helped us out a lot. When we purchased the location, there was a former restaurant here, so we tore that down and started out from scratch. And the city has been very supportive. The town itself, all the people have been very supportive, and it's just been a great. I mean, it's exceeded all of our expectations.
Guys, it's a very cool place. Big Grove Brewery in Solon. And if you're looking to do a day trip, get here, have a couple of beers, you know, have a designated driver, or just crash at my buddy Kevin's place. Kevin, you'll put people up, right? Done deal. Big Grove Brewery. Doug, thanks so much for having us. This place is great, and I can't wait to see more of it.
Appreciate it.
Now here we are behind the scenes at Big Grove Brewery, not the biggest brewery in the state of Iowa. This is Bill Heinrich. He is the head brewer, brewmaster. What are you comfortable with?
Head brewer, janitor in chief also works.
Head brewer, janitor in chief is what's on this man's business card. Tell me about what's going on back here.
I mean, it's a tight little space, but this is our brewing facility. It's a 3.5 barrel brew house. We have 6-7 barrel fermenters. We're able to put out a little bit of beer here and there. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're able to make it in decent enough quantities, but incredible qualities. I mean, holy God, Bill, the stuff you guys are making is just incredible.
I'm feeling pretty good about it. You know,
Yeah.
we're about 2 years into it. It took a lot of hard work, a good chunk of my hairline.
Bill had a full head of like full-on Bon Jovi hair when this thing started 2 years ago.
It's true. It's a fair point. I mean, we're wavy and lots of, you know.
Right. It was, I mean.
People drove around with fans.
When they first opened this bar, women, for $1, would put their fingers through your hair.
Oh, yes. And that's how
and
we
then
stayed
they would
open.
get a free beer as a result of it.
And that's how we stayed open in the first year. That's a fair point.
Right. So you are part of a larger collective of incredibly talented people here in Solon.
Well, the nice part about where we are and what we're doing here, you know, we have Doug and Dan in the front of house. We have Ben and the whole kitchen staff. I have my staff. I have a part-time brewer and a full-time brewer on staff as well. Between all of us, we're able to put together not only what I think are one of the quality beers that we've been trying to produce for so long, trying to produce consistently for these last 2 years, but we're able to try new ideas, get different perspectives. When we design a beer, it's not necessarily strictly, you know, what is going to sell the fastest, what is the most mass appeal that we can achieve. It's often about what we can do to accent the work that Chef Ben is doing in the kitchen.
This place is just amazing, and the work you guys are doing, it's just, it's phenomenal. And I don't care if it's in Des Moines or Chicago or New York City for that matter. This place is just dynamite. The work you guys are doing, you should be so proud. Thanks so much for letting us peek behind the silver tank curtain. Next on Brewed, Kelowna, Iowa. Rich with history and now a brew pub with over 20 creations on tap.